All right, welcome back. Today we've got a really cool collaboration to talk about. And I have this guy out just for some size comparisons and some kind of discussions. And I also have this guy for some discussion as well. But first off, what we're really going to talk about today is this guy. It's a true collaboration between Robert Carter and Frank Fischer. Now, Frank Fischer made this guy, which is the Fury, and it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's awesome. Can't say enough about it. Well, Robert Carter and Frank Fischer have been lifelong friends. They've been friends for a long time, blah, blah, all this stuff, right? So they got together in the garage one day and put this Tallon together. Now, when I call this like a true collaboration, it's two guys in the garage, the shop, whatever, building a knife together. This is the R.J. Martin Shirogorov collaboration, and I love it. It is for sale at the time of filming, just FYI. Shameless plug. And this is a collaboration between the two. But is it really? R.J. Martin kind of designed it, and they collaborated kind of on the design, and then Shirogorov made it. And they made 300 of this particular version. This is the soft overkill with aftermarket scales from Department 13. I do have the original scales as well. But anyway, yes, we call these collaborations when a designer or maker designs something and then has somebody else make it with their style. And, there is a blending of Shirogorov and R.J. Martin in this. But that's a different type of a collaboration than two guys sitting down and really working on the physical piece themselves. Just a little distinction, I guess. So anyway, let's get on to this guy. This is really a different knife than every other Fischer I have handled. And I've handled quite a bit, okay? I've handled stuff from all three Fischers, Todd Sr., Todd Jr., and Frank. This is branded as a Fischer Bros. However, in talking with Robert, he goes, yeah, no, this was Frank and I put it together one day in the garage type of thing. So, okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue that point. But one thing that's really cool is the anodized blue perimeters. So often we'll just see a polished perimeter on a lot of the Fischer knives. My Cobra from TJ has it that way. I've never really seen one anodized like this before, which I think is super cool. There is a slight bit of a texture on the scales here as opposed to on the Fury, which I think is cool. You can see a lot of design cues from Frank in this, but it's really the blade that is all Robert Carter. Like, people from a mile away will pick this out as a Robert Carter. If I forgot to mention, this is the Tallon model. We certainly have Frank's pocket clip. He loves to do small, dainty clips, if you will. Let's just zoom in here. That look more like a pen in your pocket than a knife. Granted, it's going to carry at about this level, so you are going to see this much sticking out. There is that. But he likes the kind of refined, delicate pocket clips, which work on a lot of knives. This one has a little bit of texturing to it. The finish is a little textured. Something I just love is this type of a lock bar cutout. I just like it better than if they cut out the whole thing. To me, it just looks nicer. It does give you some rough edges here and things like that. Sometimes can, depending on how this cutouts are done, may hang up in your pocket a little bit. This one does not. This works fantastically. Nothing super crazy. It's a frame lock flipper, like titanium and probably 154 cm. I don't know for sure, but I know that that is what they were using a lot at this time frame. Love the pivot. No pivot collars, so kind of plain, but little pivot inlay there on the top. And just really well done. The gear pattern backspacer, which is kind of a staple from Frank. It's a little different than this one. And it's a little different than a lot of them. It's kind of that floating backspacer, which I think is just super cool. Now, this is not my knife. This is going on to my buddy Anthony, but because I've done quite a few Fischer knife videos, he sent it to me to check out and to kind of talk about. So let's give you a couple of the specs. It's 4.5 inches closed, 7.5 overall with a 3.26 inch blade. Blade thickness is 0.154. Weighs in at exactly 4 ounces. So this is a really good lightweight everyday carry knife. It is pretty crazy sharp. Runs on bearings, of course, and has really good action. Nice controlled shake shut, if you will, which is really my favorite action. The flipper tab and the detent is a medium to hard detent, which is unusual with a lot of the other Fischer knives. So it is a strong detent. I'm not going to say it's a finger breaker, but it certainly is strong. I like them a little bit weak. Not weaker is not the right term. Lighter is a personal preference. But man, I just can't get over the blue anodizing around this darkened black titanium. I just think it looks super cool. Now the blade shape is unusual. It's a double recurve. This one is also kind of a double recurve, Tonto. Not so much, very slight recurve in the Tonto version. But this is a talon, like a talon of a bird. Like it just, yeah. I think this can be a super useful daily carry knife. Really lets you get in, get some cutting. The advantages of a recurve is it holds the material that you're cutting really well. I like the way a recurve looks. This is just plain mono steel, not compound ground. It's very Robert Carter. And it's just very cool. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. What more can I say? Here's a couple of size comparisons, just because these are the knives I had out real quick. I'll throw a Sharpie in here too. I think this is a great knife. I'm super excited for Anthony to get it. I know he's been waiting because I've had it for a little while, even though the unboxing just came out. But I think it's super cool. It works great in the pocket, and this is a very nice daily carry. A little on the small side for me. Just remember, this is not a finger choil. Do not. Yeah, don't do that. You might be mistaken. That would be bad. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. I do greatly appreciate your time. As always, I'm going to put a Fischer playlist up here in the corner from my Frank Fischer playlist. If you are so interested to see more from Frank, check that one. I probably need to do just a Fischer playlist so I can put them all in there. I don't know if I can do a playlist inside of a playlist inside of a playlist. I don't know. But I've done stuff from Todd, TJ, and Frank, and I have 3 different playlists. You know how to use YouTube. Go find them. Watch all the videos. I appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. And Anthony, I will get this boxed up and shipped out to you right away. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.